Welcome to Prime Life. We call it Retirement 2.0. Leave each episode with tips and new ideas to help you navigate retirement in our new age. It's your time. Make it count.
This podcast is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical, investment, or financial advice. We do not sponsor or endorse any of the individuals, companies, products, or services featured on this podcast. Any statements or opinions expressed are of the individual who makes them. We hope you enjoy the episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Prime Life Podcast. This is your co-host, Joseph Katz. I'm here with Mary and Laura. How you gals doing today?
Swimmingly. I mean, literally jumping right into the waters with Mary here. It's a beautiful day, and we're happy to be here with you.
It's exciting. Mary, we have an interesting guest, as always. You want to do the honors?
We really do. Yes. Please welcome Emily Bron. She's the owner of International Lifestyle Consulting, an online midlife expat alliance, lifestyle and business club to connect future 50-plus professionals, the U.S., Canada, and recent in Europe and Latin America. She created the International Lifestyle Consulting to advise on how to find the best place to relocate abroad and immigrate for a better quality of life, cost of living, retirement, adjusting to get new skills, and to create a new social circle. She's also the host of the Second Age of Reinvention, Redefining Freedom, Lifestyle, and Purpose at Midlife podcast. Emily, that's quite a bit. Welcome to the Prime Life podcast. Please tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you're up to.
Hello everyone. Thanks for invitation. My life story can be long because it has several different chapters from the different countries I lived over my lifetime. I can shortly just say that I was born in the former Soviet Union, the country which does not exist anymore, but I lived in the different part of it which now are different countries like Ukraine, Russia. I lived in Israel. I'm living for 28 years in Canada, and I am considering my next relocation being in the prime life to my next destination. And with all this experience and having some other skills, I created international lifestyle consulting to help others in prime life, to be specific, other professionals after 50, how to define the best matching place to relocate, actually how to prepare for relocation, how to find the country. I can also advise on the immigration process in the several countries because I am actually went through the several processes recently. I'm connected with immigration lawyers, with many professionals related to relocation in different countries. And when I'm speaking about countries, to be exact, I'm speaking about US and Canada. It's the places where people are relocating from, to the several Latin American countries and several European countries where people are relocating to. I hope I didn't confuse anyone.
No, it's great. It's really interesting, right? Because a lot of the conversations we've had here on Prime Life are on people rediscovering, and you're legitimately rediscovering locations to physically locate yourself as part of your journey. So first question I have is, where do you start? Do you start with an idea? Do you say, I'm going to relocate to this country, but after I have a concept of where I want to go, what do you recommend people do?
It's exactly what I understood, the question that many North Americans starting with and don't have idea about. So that's why I believe I can share and provide actually various experiences I get over over my life span. Because look, I was immigrating back in 19 when I was young. At the time, there were no internet, like minimum knowledge, and coming from the Iron Curtain, like we absolutely didn't know almost where we're going to. Kind of no passport, no money, no language, no kind of understanding of country we are going to. I mean, at this time it was Israel, but I was young. We were young. It was a lot of people who were just coming. It was the first wave of the big immigration from the Soviet Union. Speaking about my second full-blown immigration, I would say to Canada, it was different. I was already in 30s, so I relocated with smaller family. The first time was with bigger family. I mean, parents, grandparents, like all family. Here there were different challenges, and in my experience, even I thought that I prepared for second relocation, but it appeared even more complicated. Actually, it was not relocation, it was immigration. What we are speaking now, relocation, it's quite different process, which is include immigration as well. But in my time, previous decisions were based on what is available, what is open. When you're in Soviet Union, you had only one destination, or stuff like that. Now people have actually a lot of opportunities, choice, but this choice has a caveat because it's hard to define and actually to select, and people are not prepared. And majority of people, they might have tourism, vacation experience to the different countries, which is great. You have already some apprehension, I would say, of local culture, but it's completely different when you're really considering to uproot your life and start new life chapter, being after 50, 60, and in some cases after 70. So that's why I thought that I found this gap, I mean, in preparation, and I know enough about the immigration process, and I can connect with the professionals, because many people kind of not kind of connected along the way with the moving immigration, different aspects of what should be done. And by the way, I'm speaking about such option as part-time relocation. Not always you need to relocate completely. There are different options. It depends what you need. What are your target? What is your big why? I would say for relocation. And by the way, these whys are changing. For some people it can be political reasons. I know many people now in the United States, or some, I would say, upset, and they say that they would relocate. 90% from them would not relocate. But people are looking for the answers to their questions. Some people, and I believe it's even more serious reason, with all respect to all reasons, it's a raising cost of living and price of health services in United States, in Canada, actually, in many other Western countries, and some other reasons which might push people to consider this decision. So actually, I'm starting from this point, and I developed my method and questionnaire, what I would ask people, and actually give them opportunity to think about, clear reasons for relocation, and based on the family composition, I would say, like it's one person, family, couple, professional experience, health consideration, and savings, which is very important to be clear about when you're starting such a big process. I would match the desires, their plans with the actual financial situation, and would advise what options do they have.
I think you answered about 6 different questions there. But when you were describing some of the factors why people leave, you mentioned healthcare, cost of living. One thing which you did mention, which I'm just curious about, if I relocate from the US or Canada to Latin America or Europe or something, there's obviously a travel consideration. What's my ability to travel? back and forth to see family or my family's ability to see me. Do you see that when you're talking to people? Are they concerned about being in touch and staying close to their family in their home country?
And we'll get that answer after a brief word from our commercial sponsors.
NASA is always working harder to be your carrier of choice. We offer insurance products that can help you meet your retirement goals, such as protecting your savings, securing lifetime income, or paying for healthcare costs. We're dedicated to providing best-in-class service and are keeping things simple, and we'll have your back. We have around 400,000 policyholders and contract holders and have been doing this for a long time, 170 years, but we remain humble enough to always try to improve. For more information, visit nfg.com. NASA insurance products are issued by Nassau Life and Annuity Company of Hartford, Connecticut, Nassau Life Insurance Company, East Greenbush, New York, or Nassau Life Insurance Company of Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas. Subsidiaries of Nassau Financial Group. Products are not available in all areas. Policyholder counts are for all Nassau companies as of September 30th, 2022, and are subject to change.
Look, my questionnaire actually include 4-5 pages. I couldn't, in my one introduction to include all this. And the questions that you mentioned now, one of the first questions in my questionnaire, how far away you would like to be from your family? Do you have family or business back in home? It actually can be different countries, not only United States, but now we are speaking which will require your participation or being physically at the place. So all this actually, it's important consideration which people sometimes don't think immediately about. And by the way, depending on these questions and other questions, I can advise and we will define, person should be close to airport, to international airport, what city, because I'm speaking not only about countries, I'm speaking about regions and other considerations which are very important. And for example, if speaking about even medical system and medical care, I specialized kind of for years in Mexico. It's actually where I'm planning to relocate. But what I'm looking, I know enough about different Mexican states to find the hospital. Like if you have certain medical condition, you need to consider to be close or at least, in a state which can provide you the better health care if needed. So there is many particular questions which can be, discussed, should be discussed during our consultation in order to consider what is the best matching place. It's exactly what I mean. For some people, is the best view what you wish to see, mountain, ocean, or maybe, I don't know, tropical paradise. And again, people need to understand, and I know it from my experience, that in this paradise you will live maybe whole year and maybe many years. So we all make mistakes at the beginning when we are not aware about different seasons and how we will feel in the different seasons. Like for my example, like I purchased property in Riviera Maya, kind of very known place, and I've been a couple of times, as many people, during the winter. And after then, just example, I realized that I cannot live at this place at summertime because I'm not good with humidity. So I have particular questions about your health and your condition, like for you maybe to answer, but to think about how you would feel in this place. Because now what I'm doing, I'm in the process of selling this property and going to another place which I discovered better for my health. Just example.
No, those are great examples. Emily, when you're 50 and over, perhaps, well, I think it takes a lot of bravery and courage anyway to relocate to a place maybe you visited, as you just gave a great example. You visited when it was maybe cold here and so it was nice and warm, but not for you in the summer. What advice do you give individuals to help them take that same leap of faith, if you will, as you have done several times?
It all takes time. People need to be prepared for challenges that they don't know, and challenges that's not always bad. The challenges actually, it's maybe this engine which push our self-development, our different outlook to the life. And I fully understand that actually this process not for everyone, being after 30, 40, and especially after 50. That's why I devoted my time in actually thinking about kind of programs, option, how to help this age category which I belong to, because I believe, I know that priorities at this age are different from, like I relocated in 20s, I relocated in 30s, and I understand now after doing my search for years, all started from my own search where I would relocate. And speaking about travel experience, by the way, travel was always my passion. And I even get a license, travel advisor license in Canada, but it was just my hobby, actually my passion, and my first company name was Travel Passion. It's how I started. It was my side hustle when I was working as IT consultant, by the way. It was not my main profession, but I so liked travel and I wanted to help people somehow. And at this time, it was in 2018, I decided that I would create tours for people after 50 to find places like lifestyle discovery tours. It was a name, actually for Americans and Canadians, to show the life, not just, from the postcards and nice places, which I like as well, but to show how people are living, kind of from different perspective, more close to the ground. And I was very interested in medical tourism. Actually, medical tourism brought me to the idea of launching my travel passion. And actually all this knowledge kind of helped me, and I'm still following, medical trends of medical system in different countries. And it became kind of integral part of international lifestyle consulting and my approach to consultation about relocation.
I just have a quick follow-up question. Do you find that the medical aspect is a significant consideration for individuals that you're
Absolutely.
working with?
Especially after 50, especially when people uprooting their life and going through some uncertainty and stress. It might, inhibit some conditions, or vice versa. If people are prepared, and it's what I'm trying to bring awareness of. So situation might be stressful, but knowledge, with knowledge you prepare, you arm, as we say. Knowledge is arming you, so you understand better. First of all, that it's like everyone is going through the similar phases of adaptation. Now we're speaking about adaptation when you're relocating. And for me, it's obviously that after 50, 60, it's more challenging than for young person who are just digital nomad. Like, you don't have family, when you don't have a lot of roots, like digital nomads, which I was following, and I am following this movement for a long time. They have different issues, they do, but based on their age. For 50, 60 plus couples and singles professionals, there's certain characteristics which we can discuss and find solution, how to remediate, how to be prepared in advance, with the knowledge that you cannot be prepared 100% for unknown, but you can open your mind and take, this mindset with positive attitude.
How important are communities in the work that you do? You mentioned the discovery tours. Do you find that a lot of your clients that you work with find community within the work that you're doing? And do you think that that impacts their decision to move abroad?
I would say that in my today's and actually recent understanding, finding community or actually creating community, it's a key part of your adaptation to the new life and new country. It's actually what pushed me to launch Midlife Expat Alliance Lifestyle and Business Club. You kind of nail it because I was speaking and I'm speaking about the importance of communities. And it's not just because, now everyone trying to create the community, but because of being immigrant several times, I know that at first, for some years, first years, a new country, new place, people are hanging out, we would say, with your community, with people of your language, of your cultural background. Some people, by the way, stuck in this community for years. Some get out and kind of to the bigger world, I would say, which, after 50, I'm not judging anyone. I am here, like living in Toronto, in Canada, consider myself part of three different communities. I'm speaking about immigrant communities, but I'm comfortable, to get out and, to do my other thing. But this cushion, I would say, not even cushion of support. It's very important, especially when there is somebody who already relocated, say, a year ago, and they get through the same experience. They can provide more advice, I would tell you, rather than immigration lawyer. Immigration lawyer has, his agenda. But people who are in the same boat, or maybe on the boat which arrived like 6 months prior to you, they give you many practical advices, and they can navigate, and it's a people you can rely upon. With obviously you need to be cautious, but you see the people from your culture. I believe, and you feel better, who you can trust. You can develop a relationship. And again, from my experience, and not only mine, people that you connect at the first years of you landing at the new place became your best friends, later on. And what I advise to some of my clients, saying, like, who considering relocation at retirement, and they say, oh, me and my friends, and we think about it. I do, take your friends together. I mean, you, like two couples, for example, you coming to, say, Costa Rica, even you learn about it being, still it will be different when you are relocating, but you already community, or you already, center and heart of this community. Each of us has, friends, relatives, support, but together you already will attract people, like-minded people, and this way you will develop your community you will be comfortable with, or you will connect with other communities as integral part. It's just kind of strategies that I would recommend.
I have a friend who moved to another country and he built a community of English speakers. And it's a growing community now because it's in a country where English isn't the first language, and he's now built this great Anglo community, beachfront property. It's the dream. Let's talk a little bit about your podcast. We haven't, Mary introduced you talking about your podcast. So tell us a little bit about your podcast, how that started, what you cover, who are your guests. Share a little.
So first of all, I have two podcasts now. I mean, two main topics. It was one, I divided it for two, not to confuse people. And the name of my podcast, Age of Reinvention. And the first podcast, Age of Reinvention, redefine freedom, lifestyle, and purpose at midlife. And the main target auditory, or I would say followers and listeners, that I dream to attract the same 50 plus professionals who are now at the stage of reconsidering their life, because in nowadays times, being in 50 and even 60, many people feel that the previous life programs they've had, or completed or don't satisfy them anymore. So what the previous program was saying, you need to study, you need to have family, children, have some savings, and we're coming to 50. So what is now? What is now left to our life? And due to the medical and other advancement, we have still 20, 30 years of active life if we care about mind and body, and we want to experience something else. By the way, for some people, relocation is this next chapter or next page that will change their life, and there's a lot of benefits in it. But I understand that not for everyone is to relocate. Some people would already launched their company, started some new projects. So I'm really speaking and interested in stories of such active individuals who dare after 50 to start something new business, new life, relocate, maybe new life direction. Like small secret, it's what I did. So I'm looking for like-minded people this way. And I believe the stories that I recording with people that I found will really inspire and give some practical tips to other people who are in the brink of changes. And I know that many people have fears this day, like they might be fired. A lot of changes happening in our society. So, or you kind of really depressed or sitting, by yourself, or you thinking about what to do with this change, how really to redefine. And I believe, and I know, and people that I invite proving with their stories, there are so many different ways and methods what to do. So it's my main, as I say, podcast. With the same time, I have Age of Reinvention, Eco Living, Private City, and Intentional Communities. Because for years, as a part of international lifestyle consulting, I'm looking for and following the projects which emerging now, the whole movement over the last years of building eco-living communities. And it is actually happening in United States as well. But my interest was in Mexico, a lot of new communities created in Mexico, in Costa Rica, like Latin America, by the way, in such several European countries are very involved. I would say it's not about countries, it's about some individuals and investors who buying the property or have some different other arrangements in order to create private cities or eco-living communities. Intentional communities, it's whole topic by itself. And here I'm not limiting my stories looking for the people of certain age. I'm inviting leaders or developers of such communities, and hopefully soon members of the communities, to tell about specifics, because communities are different. They have different rules, and a lot of developments happening in this direction.
It definitely sounds like it's growing, and I would agree with you on all the points that you made, Emily. My question for you is, you have an extremely diverse background in what you've shared, and I know what you sent, IT, let's see, it's quite a list. Travel consulting, you mentioned that, engineering, research, banking. How has that influenced the work that you do?
I don't know if it's influenced, but it's a kind of basing, like pillars that my personality is based on. And with knowledge and experience in these different fields, even it was like long ago, I feel I know that I am very good prepared. So when I'm looking to the project, say eco living and some other project, I know that I had like my engineering background helped me, because I can see and find and ask the question to the point. My research background helping me. Actually, I do research for my clients. I do research even daily for myself. I like it. Actually, this part I like it. I like travel, so, and I know about travel as a business, as being traveler myself. And it's integral part of my consultation as well. Actually, I can create itinerary, and I like it as well. It was my hobby for years, just to advise how better on, say, on a budget to go to the country. I'm not offering tours now. I don't have time. I'm solopreneur, but I can advise how better to visit and what season, where to go in certain country in order to check the lifestyle if people have opportunity and time to do it, and many have. So it's helping me in this regard. It's actually, I think, helping the customers. And what else? Oh, my IT consulting. It's what I'm doing being solopreneur. I need to adjust and test and work with many different tools these days. So even podcasting, which I started only last year, I didn't have idea about podcasting, but I'm learning, and I believe that my previous skills helping me to adjust quicker.
Love it. And as we're at the top of the hour here, we've learned so much from you so far today in this conversation, Emily. And for our listeners who are looking to get a hold of you to learn more about the work that you do, what is the best way for them to do that?
So I'm active in social media, and you can find Emily Bron and International Lifestyle Consulting on YouTube, in Instagram, in Facebook. But personally, I am more involved with LinkedIn. It's where people can find me and message directly to me as a Emily Bron. I'm launching, I have website, emilybron.com. Whatever you see or hear, EMILYBRON.com, where my podcast, my blog, and I have blog for different topics, all is listed. And I'm launching now Midlife Expat Alliance Lifestyle and Business Club. I know it's a long name, but I wanted just to show the whole picture that of my next project is care about, and topics we will be speak about. I will be promoting more the platform soon. And I can be found on podcasting. I'm on Spotify, so look for the Age of Reinvention, and you will find 2 podcasts. One of them is Redefine Freedom, Lifestyle, and Purpose at Midlife, and second is Eco Living and Intentional Communities.
I love it. Thank you so much. We're going to link in the show notes as well and on the website. So we'll make all of those hyperlinks available for our listeners. Mary, Joseph, Emily, thank you again for such a fantastic episode. And to all of our listeners out there, we hope you tune in next week for another Prime Life podcast.
Thank you very much to be part of your Prime Life.
Remember to subscribe to the Prime Life podcast anywhere you find podcasts. You can find all of our episodes, contact information, and more on our website, primelifepodcast.com. Stay connected with us. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.